I've made it a goal to collect and review each North American Virtual Boy game, and today we'll be looking at Galactic Pinball. With the imminent release of Virtual Boy coming to Nintendo Switch Online, I figured it was time to bust this thing out and play a few games just to get ready. And you may be asking yourself, do I really need to play a virtual pinball game? I mean, it doesn't have the same fun and enjoyment of standing at a real pinball table. Well, also, at a real pinball table, you can't sit hunched over at your desk like this, which is the most comfortable way to play video games. Galactic Pinball was developed by Intelligent Systems and was actually one of the launch games for the Virtual Boy, coming out in July of 1995 in Japan and August 14th, 1995 in North America, just 10 days before the launch of Space Cadet, that Windows pinball game everyone played as a kid. So really, Space Cadet was just copying Galactic Pinball. Galactic Pinball is the true virtual pinball game. Galactic Pinball is mostly a generic space pinball game. There's 4 tables to choose from, being Cosmic, Colony, UFO, and Alien. However, on the Cosmic table, you can actually unlock a mini game where you get to play as Samus and her ship and shoot some aliens. Outside of that, though, it's just pretty much a generic space-themed pinball game with no real IP attached to it. The gameplay in Galactic Pinball is pretty simple. You have your right paddle and your left paddle. Some stages have multiple sets of paddles that are controlled by, the left side button or the right side button. And you can press the B button to tilt the table a little bit, which I didn't really mess around with too much. So basically, I was playing this game with 2 buttons. And it is a pinball game, so it's inherently pretty simple, but I think the boards are actually pretty fun. Lots of little secrets to uncover, lots of bonuses to get, mentioning the Samus one. But at the end of the day, I'm not really good at pinball games, so my main goal is just trying to not let the puck or the ball, in this game it's a puck, normally it's a ball, but let the puck fall to the bottom. I'm not really aiming for the bonuses. I'm not good enough to think logically about how to get high scores. I'm just in survival mode. And that can actually draw out some of the flaws of the Virtual Boy because, being just red and black, sometimes the puck can get lost on the screen, especially when there's a bunch of other moving things on the screen. There are some bonuses that have spinning circular things that you bring to the board, and it's really easy to lose the puck when there's lots of motion and everything is of a similar size and of the same color. But overall, if you just really lock in and really try your best to pay attention, it's not that bad, but it's a Virtual Boy. You'll get your mileage may vary. Kind of the saving grace though for being able to lose the puck sometimes is if you make a last second reaction and you just hit the paddle. The paddles are actually quite forgiving. The little hitbox for them reaches out further than it looks like they actually do. Sometimes if the puck will be going down the dead center, sometimes in pinball, when the ball is going right down dead center, you just can't reach it and there's just nothing you can do. Unless it's truly pixel dead center through the paddles, they can almost always reach it. They will stretch out a little further than it looks like they will when it looks like you're doomed. In most cases, there are some cases where it'll go literally right back down the middle and you can't get it. There's nothing you can do. But if you even get a pixel off, it'll reach. And that's one of my least favorite things about pinball in general is having the puck or the ball go to a place that is not really in my control. It's just bouncing crazy and then it shoots off to a spot that didn't even give him the opportunity to hit it. And you just lose a ball like that. And that does exist here. There are some little saving little barriers you can unlock through some of the bonus games that'll put little walls that'll launch the ball back into play once or twice. But it still has that frustrating pinball feature where sometimes it's just going to go places that are out of your control and you're going to miss it, and that doesn't always feel great. If you want to roll credits in this game, you can do that by getting 50 million points in any of the 4 stages. And if you're playing the game, that might sound like a crazy number because, when you're playing on the first board, Cosmic, to get that Samus minigame, which is what most people probably jump to this game for, you're going to notice you're going to have a score in the low millions, maybe just even high 100,000s, maybe even haven't even hit a million yet. And 50 million is going to sound like a completely unachievable number. But if you play on the UFO stage, you will get some crazy point bonuses that stage shells out. There's a mini game where you can get about 15 million points in the span of a minute if you do the correct things in sequence. I'm not going to lay it all out, but it's pretty easy Google if you want to figure it out. So yeah, if you want to actually see credits of this game and feel like you beat it, the UFO stage is where you want to head. As much flack as I give the Virtual Boy controller for being the most disgusting, horrible looking thing in the world, I still stand by that. I do think it actually feels pretty comfortable for this game in particular. The back buttons on the grips, basically where the trigger would be, those are your right and left paddle buttons. So that's a really natural feeling grip. You're just holding on to handles that already have the finger slots like carved into them, and then you're just using your index fingers to hit the two paddles. So it feels real natural, feels real clean, and you don't have to mess with the absurd double D-pad on the front. Overall, I think Galactic Pinball is a fine game. If you're playing on NSO, you might as well check it out. I think of the 3 Virtual Boy games I've played so far, being Virtual League Baseball and 3D Tetris, I think Galactic Pinball is my favorite so far, so I'll put it at number 1 in the rankings. But overall, it is just a pretty, by the numbers digital pinball game. There's some cool little bonuses, some cool little mini games, but it doesn't look too flashy. It's got some pretty respectable chiptune music, but it's not going to blow you away. It's fun for, a span of 2 or 3 games in a row, maybe sit down and play for 15, 30 minutes at a time. But this isn't something that you're going to want to, play for hours and hours on end, unless you're really going after those high score challenges. And that's not something I'm going to do in this game. I rolled my credits, I got my 50 million points, I felt accomplished, and maybe I'll go back and check it out some other time. But yeah, if you are tempted to play pinball and you're looking at that $10,000 Pokemon pinball machine that is announced, maybe instead just buy yourself a Virtual Boy and Galactic Pinball and play pinball how it's truly intended, hunched over your desk, craning your neck, looking into red lights. Thanks for watching. Yeah, with the release of the Virtual Boy with NSO this week, I did buy the Virtual Boy NSO Switch 2 holder thingamajig. So expect a few videos on that. I'll probably make a short or 2, make some traditional horizontal videos. Probably going to review the entire launch NSO lineup of Virtual Boy games. So if you're interested at all in Virtual Boy or NSO, consider subscribing. Leave a like in this video if you liked it. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.